What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to basketball, and more importantly, welcome back to the NBA Progress Report. This is a series where we take a look at young players around the NBA and see how they're progressing throughout their young careers, because let's be honest, after a player's rookie season, we kind of tend to lose focus on them, but they still have a lot of development ahead, and that's what this series is all about. We're taking a look at players still on their rookie deals in years 2 through 4 to make sure that they're progressing the right direction in the NBA. And in this video, we're focusing on Toronto's Gradey, a guy in his third season now. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of his film, some of his analytics, and then at the very end of the video, I've got a whole progress report card to take you guys through. But before we get into any of that, make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and comment. I've responded to every single comment on my YouTube channel up to this point, and I intend to keep on doing so. We have a bunch of other great content on the channel right now. The second episode of the Rookie Report is out, where we go really in-depth, breaking down the film of a lot of rookies in the NBA, which is why it's so nice to have a video like this right afterwards. We also have Last Week in the Film Room, just breaking down other general film around the NBA. We've got other NBA progress report cards, mock drafts, other articles, just everything you really need to keep you up to date on the NBA. So without further ado, let's start talking about Gradey. And that brings us back to the progress report spreadsheet. For those of you new to the channel, I build a lot of these spreadsheets just to kind of help articulate and visualize the stories that I'm trying to tell here on YouTube. So I actually went and designed this this progress report, all the analytics behind it, the numbers. I actually have a whole white paper that you can read on it, with the intent of trying to give you guys a little bit of an intro to statistics in basketball, because all of the numbers and grades you see here is something that you can actually build using very readily available data on the internet, and this white paper tells you all about it. If you want access to this spreadsheet in the white paper, it's really simple. Go down into the description of this video. You'll see a link to join my Discord. If you just hop on there and go to the announcements channel, you can find it there. It's completely free. Go have fun with it. Now, let's talk about Gradey. What I have up on the screen right now is actually his year 1 to year 2 grades right here. So this would have been his progress report after his second season. As you can see, not a lot of change. Pretty consistent. He finished with a D+ grade at the end of the season. It's just kind of an average of all of these grades. But, you know, I've been taking a look around this week, being like, okay, who's somebody that we could focus on? Because we've done 3 episodes of this so far. We did a player that's maybe like a little bit stagnant in Paolo Banchero. Maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. Watch that video to go see what your thoughts are on it. Stephon Castle and Alex Sarr look like they're maybe taking some leaps early on. I'm like, maybe let's take a look at a player and like really check to see like, hey, could this person potentially be declining? And I landed on Gradey, because Gradey, lottery pick of it would have been 3 years ago now. He's just entering his third season. It's very early in the year, right? So a lot of these early in the year progress report videos, kind of take them with a grain of salt, because we don't have a large sample size for things. You guys hear me say it in every video. Don't be overreacting to things in the NBA right now. It usually takes about 20 games for NBA players and teams to kind of find their groove and find some consistency. So try to give him some time here. But I think Gradey is an interesting one to kind of dive into. So I've got some of his recent games. We're going to watch all of the film, and at the end, we'll do a year 2 to year 3 comparison, so you guys can really kind of see what's going on here. But I want to take a look at some of his numbers first here, just so you guys can kind of get a sense for what I'm looking at with Gradey. And remember, him coming into the NBA, he was sought to be kind of like a mobile shooter. We'll see kind of how the defense becomes, right? But he's a pretty solid athlete, so probably more of like a role player, right? Like that's kind of what we intend, and as like a 13th pick in the draft, that's pretty typical, right? Looking at like his rookie season, just looking at like efficiencies for scoring, because like offense was going to be his main thing, right? I mean, you take a look at his defensive numbers, he was literally first percentile in the NBA and then 9th, so really, really bad. Not very good defensively at all. But you take a look at his percentages, right? And he was about league average from 3, about league average again, and a little bit less than league average right now because people are shooting really well this season, but about league average typically again. So we're still not really seeing like the maybe good 3-point shooter that we were hoping for. The mid-range, not quite there. All the jokes about Dick can't get to hole were made last season because he was just so bad at like finishing at the rim, and it's even worse so far this year. It's not a lot of attempts. Again, early on, sample size matters, but I was just kind of taking a look at these numbers last night, and I was like, yeah, I feel like we need to dive into the film and kind of see what's going on with Gradey here. Taking a look at some other things here to at least to kind of watch out for us before we get into the film. The assist percentages here, like it wasn't that great, and now we're at a first percentile for assist percentage, which That's rough. He's not turning the ball over very much, but he also just doesn't have a lot of opportunities to turn the ball over right now. They're just not giving him the ball. His minutes are decreasing. I mean, you look at this, right? I mean, 21 minutes per game, 29, almost 30 last year. And so far this season, like, we're talking like 8th, 9th man kind of minutes here on a team that's not exceptionally deep in the Toronto Raptors either, which is kind of concerning, especially because they could probably use the spacing that he could ideally bring. So there's certainly a role there for him. And look, there's a lot of context to the Toronto Raptors this season. They're kind of a weird team, right? They're kind of trying to figure out this new group. You added a guy at his position in Brandon Ingram, who, look, he's just going to get a lot of minutes and he's going to get a lot of touches, right? That kind of stuff matters. But it's still, right, where we're trying to evaluate is their growth and things like that. And so that's kind of what we're going to take a look at today. If you want to see a shooting chart right here, this is just showing like a shot density more so. So it's 3-pointers and then the rim, which is good. That's pretty analytically efficient, right? That's what we'd like to see. The problem is, like, nothing's really falling at like a great rate right now. We're also not seeing any development in the playmaking side of things in terms of him being able to create his own shot. More shots than ever are being created for him. And again, you added a Brandon Ingram to the team, shit like that's going to happen, right? But I'm really curious to kind of get into the film and just kind of keep all these numbers in mind as we look through all of his different box scores and other things throughout this video. But without further ado, I say we start talking about the film, and I actually loaded all the film beforehand this time because in the video yesterday, I don't know why my computer was taking forever to like load the film whenever I'd click on it or whatever, but I have it ready today. So this first game was November 4th. It was a win against the Milwaukee Bucks, actually, and in this game, Gradey Dick went 3 for 4. Pretty simple game in this one. You'll see he also walked away with 0 assists, 0 turnovers. So we're going to watch the offense and we're going to watch the defense and just kind of see what's going on with Mr. Gradey Dick here. And now, before I click start on this film, look, most of these videos are going to get demonetized just because I'm showing NBA film and stuff like that. So please show these videos some love and support if you like them, because I don't want to waste my time doing them if you guys don't actually like them. I like to give you guys the in-depth stuff because of my like professional background doing this kind of shit every day, getting paid by top-end teams to do it. But yeah, if you like it, show it some love and support. And by the way, YouTube, this is educational content. I'm not trying to pass this content off as my own. I'm adding thought and ideas as a professional onto this film so that I can educate people. Please do not demonetize my videos. Please. I should be protected under fair use laws, and I put it in my description. They're still gonna fucking demonetize me. All right, let's watch Gradey Dick. Gradey Dick is right here, number 1. Let's take a look at some offense here and see what's going on. I'm gonna be pausing this shit a lot, so get ready for it. Here we go. Kyle Kuzma doing his own goofy shit. All right, what are we doing? Scotty Barnes, let's go. We're running. Good pass. That's great. That's great stuff right there. I just love this transition play. Good stuff. You found the right guy right here, Scotty. Next right pass. Let's talk about the shooting form because it hasn't quite happened yet. Oh, do they have like their own Prime sponsorship right here? I like Prime. I don't know if y'all have ever had it before. It tastes like, it's just smoother than Gatorade. I like the coconut base. I get distracted easily if you guys can't tell either. Yeah, let's talk about the shooting form like we said, because the shot hasn't been falling too great early, and when I was doing player development, shooting was my specialty, so I love to break it down. Alrighty, right off the bat, I like where the ball's at. It's nice that he's keeping it up. Yep, looks like it crossed to the right eye instead of the left, which is good. I can't see the feet too well right here. It looks like he jumped together. That's great. Hit the shot. Kind of hard to tell completely from that angle, though. All right, here we go. We're moving the ball up the court. Early screen. We like it. Ooh, this play could get interesting really quickly, because what I would expect to happen from this early kind of, so they got into a pick and roll. They're kicking to the wing before they even get to the nail right here, which is interesting. Scotty Barnes, what I would probably have you do is slide down here just a little bit now. I'm having quickly wrap around Cole Anthony here in space because Kyle Kuzma's probably going to try to follow him. If he doesn't, you can be bringing the ball up and swing, probably get a 3 back to quickly. But Jakob Poeltl, because you've got like your ass on, oh, this isn't, who is this? This is Amir Coffey. That's not Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony's here. You can seal off Cole Anthony here and probably roll and get a pass right back, actually, and kind of continue the pick and roll from there, which could be interesting. So I'm kind of curious to see where this goes. Instead, he kind of just stops the play because Gradey Dick gets the shot up. But you know what? Your boy's trying to give you guys extra context on things. So let's take a look. Jumps into his shot, which is great. Take a look at this. Watch how he really jumps into it and lands balanced on 2. That's great, right? When we watched film on this kid coming into the NBA, we were like, yep, probably will become a good shooter. Why hasn't he so far? And again, you ask questions about the team fit and the scheme. This is a weirdly built team. There's not a lot of other spacing around him, so how good are the attempts that he's getting, right? Those are the questions that I would ask. He jumps together pretty well here. Like all that looked fine, honestly. Like, I'm not tripping about the form too much here. It was a little bit long, a little bit to the left. Could be worse. Could be worse. All right, what do we got now? What do we got now? Second half. Remember, there's not too many shot attempts here. Shout out Jameson Battle right here. We're swinging. This is end of the game kind of bullshit minutes right here, but taking a look at the shot form again. We do have a little bit of the leg bending in right here, which is interesting. The feet separation is pretty good. We'd like the feet angled at more of a 45-degree angle out this way a little bit more. You always want the feet 45 degrees opposite of the shooting arm. He's a righty, so we want him 45 to the left. Jumps together pretty well there. Again, the feet not being in the right position trips me out a little bit, but that one is money. Good shit, Gradey. Good shit, Gradey. Oh, you know what? I have one other thought on Gradey Dick really quick before I keep going with it. I have a little bit of trouble rooting for this team at times solely because of this clip right here. Roll the clip.
She don't know what she doing. This bitch is giving it out. What the hell? Girl that wham in a circle, even if a little make a jump like a hurdle. Girl that wham in a circle, even if a little make a jump like a hurdle. Girl that wham in a circle, even if a little.
Doesn't it just send shivers down your spine? I know it's not Spooktober anymore, but holy shit, they're just a goofy group, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's a weird ass group. All right, here we go. Feet look a little bit better. This time look like they're actually more so at the 45 degrees. Kind of a weird, like, kind of finish at the lower half here. So a little bit of inconsistency in this game as for how he was getting his shots off. And that's all he took in that game, right? He's in kind of a minor role right now. And mind you, we are talking about a lottery pick, right? So you'd hope that, you know, at least kind of like involved role player and stuff at this point of their career. But, you know, I'd say he's kind of at that point now. So this is the same game. Now we're taking a look at defense, right? Because defense has been a big problem so far. And analytically, not bad so far this season, and certainly not like abysmal like he's been the first two seasons. But let's kind of take a look and see what's going on with Gradey Dick here. See if we're improving. We got a point guard on us, which is tough. That's pretty good defense right there. Not much else to say about that clip. Here we go. Who are we guarding? We're guarding Bobby Portis here. There's a pick and roll. Bobby Portis is going to pull those. He does not fear anybody. He misses that one. Not much else to be done on that play. Here we go. Here we go. I don't necessarily love this right here, but I can't tell if this is more so Toronto's scheme. Because here's the thing. In basketball, the number one rule of defense is you don't help one pass away. As soon as Cole Anthony comes back this way, he's one pass away from Ryan Rollins. And it's because you can't recover quick enough to be here, right? Yes, Scotty's got to watch Giannis. That's a whole thing, right? Like, BI can step in and kind of help here, and I'm kind of cool with Kuzma shooting it here, so I don't necessarily love that, but hey, fair enough. Like, he waved at him. Cool, I guess, whatever. Here we go. Right off the bat, I'd like for you to be a little bit lower, because you can't see both people right now. You got to be able to see ball and your guy, so I want you lower so that you can see both right here. So, need you a little bit lower, Gradey, a little bit lower. Your head should be kind of constantly turning. See, you're doing somewhat of the right thing right here. Again, take like another step back right here. And again, just need a quicker closeout on this one. Just need a quicker closeout, because take a look at this. As soon as the ball's here, now you got to be in this gap, right? That's 5-star defense. So we got to go here, and just gets completely blown by. Just completely blown by here. Like, I'm trying to figure out what even happened here. Like, why did you, like, jump out at him like this? Look at this. Like, he like, jumps out at him like this. Like, you're either going to foul him or this is going to happen. It doesn't make sense. So bad defense on that one. It's just one play, but is what it is. All right, kind of gets blown by here. What happened on this play? Can I go back to the start of this play really quick? What kind of happened here? I don't know if like there was a swing pass or something like that. It's at the end of the game, but just gets blown by, doesn't recover well, whatever. All right, we move on. Here we go. Is that Mark Sears? I think that is. That's the kid from Alabama, rookie. Here we go. We close out. Solid closeout. We're on team on this channel. Don't jump at threes. That's the team that we find ourselves on, because I just think less than 1% of three-point shots get blocked, right? I just think you should chop, put your hands up so that you can either box him back out. If a long rebound comes back, you can go get it, stay in front of people. I don't know. That's the camp that I decide to sit in. All right, Gradey Dick, more kind of dead minutes, right? Like, what is this? What is this defense they're doing? And this could be like something Toronto kind of tells him to do. Like, are they telling him to kind of jump gaps right now? Because this is really unorthodox otherwise, and he looks pretty like he doesn't care at this point in the game, and it's because of that I don't care anymore, because yeah, it's kind of a dead point in the game. So first game, like a little bit of inconsistency in the shooting, right, that we've noticed so far, and defensively, bleh, pretty blah. So in this next game now we're going to take a look at, and again, this isn't nearly as much film as we did for some of the other guys we've kind of tackled in this series when we did Alex Sarr, Stefan Castle, Paulo Banchero. Those guys are in higher like volume roles than some of the other people, right? Or in comparison to Gradey Dick at least. But in this game, it's another win. It's against the Atlanta Hawks, who are a little bit shorthanded without their guy Trae Young at this point. And in this game, Gradey Dick only 13 minutes again, and this was a relatively close game. So guys like let's see, Sandro, so Mamu's getting more minutes than him, Shed's getting more minutes, Colin Murray-Boyle's getting more, and again, there's a Scotty Barnes, a Brandon Ingram, and an RJ Barrett on the team that can all kind of play his role, right? But we're seeing it diminish a little bit. 3 for 7 still, despite that, 3 for 4 from 3 in this one. No assists to the name again. So let's take a look at the offense and kind of see what's going on. Ooh, that's a red court. Ooh, that's a red court. All right, let's take a look. We got an interesting angle right now. He's got Vit on him. All right, we're going around the screen. I like this. This is actually kind of a cool angle to watch this play from. So nice little move here. Like his ball handling skills are nothing to write home about, but it is what it is. Got into this form pretty well. We're a little bit off balance with it, but he does jump together ultimately, which is good. He's not quite straight up and down. We could probably strengthen out the legs a little bit more and have a little bit more strength and stamina for it, but you know what? It's fine. It fell. Definitely not a bad looking shot. Here we go. Set the screen. Good job, Murray Boyles. You rolled the right way. Good shit. We talk about this all the time, kids, and I'm going to get it in all of your brains, and you will never be able to watch basketball the same because of it. When you set a screen, roll open towards the basketball so you can see everything. Gradey Dick, where were you going? Right here. Where were you going? Stay out there. Kick it out to Mamu. Next right pass right here. I love that the ball doesn't dip when he catches it. That's a lot of fun. Here we go. We catch, no dip. The ball kind of stayed over. This one feels like it's going to be a miss because, look, the ball's on the left side of him right now. We want it on the right side of him, if anything. You want the ball to kind of follow your right hip, past your right shoulder, past your right eye. That would be kind of the ideal way to do things. Yeah, that one fell off just a little bit. It's just a little bit off to the side because of it. Look at that. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. What a dribble was that? Look at this. Oh, my God. Like, I know we don't do carries in the NBA anymore, but Jesus Christ. Oh my, he literally went like, ooh, that's a carry if I've ever seen one, my boy. All right, here we go. We make the pass, jab. We love moves like this. Like, use people's momentum against you or against them right here because Vit's moving this way right now. Also, when you're attacking the rim, boys and girls, attack kind of that front leg or whatever. Because he's trying to force you this way, you kind of try to attack this front leg because then they have to turn all the way around to get you. Good stuff. We go. That was just not a good shot, but he might have been fouled. We're gonna take a look right here. So did he feel like the hand's not really like in there on him? It's just on his side. Oh, it's Mo Gay here swiped at him. Interesting. Okay, so Mo takes a little swipe at him. He very well might have gotten ball there, and that's why or got hand there, and so he just threw it up. That's probably a foul then. I'm gonna guess that's a foul. So I'm going to guess he's smart enough to know to put that up. All right, you got Keaton Wallace in front of you here. What's the situation? Early in the second, down by a little bit. What's going on? You're in here pretty much with the starters minus Brandon Ingram. Here we go. Here we go. We're attacking. Just didn't quite have the ball on that drive the whole time. And Wallace gets the strip and causes a turnover. Tough one for old Gradey Dick. Again, I wouldn't say anything phenomenal ball handling wise. I haven't really seen, and we saw with his like rim numbers, right? He's not good at finishing at the rim either. Maybe that's because he doesn't have the handling skills to even really get him there in like a stable way, right? Those are some of the things that I'd be thinking about. All right, we're running. There's not a great place to go with this ball right here, so this is what I'm thinking, right? And you do have to consider this stuff real time, man. Like, you got to actually think this stuff through in the game and kind of have these reflections. You're like, okay, I don't actually have the advantage on this fast break right now. And a lot of young players just want to get out and run because they're running, and we're used to playing AAU basketball and stuff, right? Let's do some math. And people should be behind saying, like, no numbers, right? You got Dyson Daniels, very elite defensive player, right? You got Keaton Wallace, you got Vitt here. You're basically going 1-on-3. It's not very advantageous because, like, Barnes and CMB are not going to be able to get themselves in position to do something right here. But, and you don't know this, but if you wait like another second, Mamu is going to catch up with them. So in this situation here, I'm probably not going up against Dyson. I'm probably not. If I'm really that guy, if I'm Giannis or something, sure, right? Why the fuck not? But I gotta know I'm Gradey Dick right here. And you know what? Play the clip again, because this is what I am. There you go. I'm sorry, I just can't help myself. But anyway, I'm probably pulling this one back out, but he's gonna attack. And again, it's not a good attempt. It's not a good attempt. And Dyson, great defense there. Good stuff. Cool. Here we go. Where are we at right now? I'd like you in more of a ready position right here. Okay, there we go. Scotty kicking it back out. Notice how they're not really even guarding him on these plays, unfortunately. And look, that's going to happen. You'd be surprised to know that NBA teams usually pick someone that they're not paying that much attention to on the court, because NBA players are very, very good, and you're always game planning for kind of somebody on the court. Good swing pass right here. All right, let's take a look at the feet. Whenever he's in the corner, his feet are always pointing directly at the rim in the 2 attempts that we've really seen so far. So that's kind of interesting. Like, he does jump together here. This looks like it's going to go in. There we go. That's pretty nice. But that's an interesting note, because, again, this is not an elite shooter by any means. So I'd be curious to tell. All right, here we go. He got into that form really quickly, which is nice. We love that. Kind of bounced into it. Jumped together. It looks like maybe this foot was facing the right way and this one wasn't. Did jump together. Pretty solid stuff. Pretty solid stuff. Shout out Garrett Temple, man. One of the best player coaches out there in the NBA. All right, here we go. Oh, we already saw this one. Okay, so that was the offensive game 2. Let's see the defense. How many clips do we have here? Only 3. Again, he didn't play many minutes, so there's not many shot attempts for him. All right, we're playing out on the perimeter right now. We got a guard on us. He's going to split through. That's a great switch. Damn, tough-ass shot. Not much you can do about that, CMB or Gradey Dick. Here we go. Oh, we lost a guy. Good defense. Just hand up. I wish you would have gotten your hand up, but whatever. It's whatever. I can be picky. Dyson bringing the ball. But Atlanta has, like, no creators on the team at this point, unfortunately. So, you know, their offense is a little bit tough to watch right now. That's why you don't build your offense around one single basketball player, Atlanta. Some people called me crazy during the season previews for being like, EVC, I think Atlanta's offense pretty... No, it's not. It's just one player doing shit. I'm like, you can't do that. That doesn't work. So I don't know. It's whatever. All right, here we go, Dyson. All right. Oh my, why does he jump at them like that? Stop it. Stop jumping at him like this. Like, he's not even in a shot attempt at this point. Oh my God. Like, Risachet, you got to draw a foul on that one, my boy. You're young too. We'll probably do a video in this series at some point on, like, what the fuck? Risachet, what are you doing? Great defense by Sheed or Shed. I never know how to say it. Okay, nothing all that crazy to take a look at defensively in that one. Game number 3 for Mr. Gradey Dick. The Sixers cool off the Raptors. Yep, they got a win in this one. The Sixers did. How did Gradey Dick do in this one? 11 minutes only in this one, so even less minutes. Went 1 for 6, so not as good in this one. No assists again. His role out there is to pretty much go out there and shoot, and we're not getting, like I said, great results. If we take a look at it again, 35%, it's league average usually about like just under 36% is like league average, so technically a little bit below league average. But anyway, let's take a look at the offense from this game. Awesome Sixers jerseys and courts, by the way. We are big fans. Let's go. We're running. Scotty Barnes, great stuff. We jumped into the form pretty well here. This left foot continues to point at the rim. Interestingly enough, the right foot, when he like is kind of forced to just shoot it and he doesn't have a ton of time, that one tends to be more we'll call it, how do we want to call this, like he's doing it the right way, I guess. That's kind of interesting. Nice high release. Like, let's take a look at the shooting form again. I know it's kind of hard because you got a big old Andre Drummond coming at you. The ball just a little bit on the way up, maybe slides a little bit further to the right, but it looks pretty good overall. Nice high release point. He jumps together. Like, that form is pretty good, and it's just long. I can live with long and short. Like, he does not have a bad shot form. There's just like because he's supposed to be a shooter, I'm nitpicking a little bit more, right? Because we need to get closer to like that 40, right, to make this a valuable asset for us, especially because he's not playing any defense, right? So here we go, we're kicking it out, we swing, we find a shooter. Kelly Oubre's not quite paying attention right now. I would hope that this is another swing, but it's not. And he gets a shot up. How did this one look? We catch, feet pointing directly at the rim again. It's inconsistent. He jumps together and kind of flares out afterwards. No, it's just not consistent, man. The form isn't. Here we go. Here we go. What, really? Mamu, you not running to the rim with us right now? I guess Embiid is there, but like, just keep running right here. Colin Murray-Boyles is not running in the right place right now. Just taking a look at it, like he doesn't see Mamu's here, and that's actually why Mamu clears out actually, and he's kind of like, oh shit, what's going on here? Credit for trying against Joel Embiid. I don't think this one's going to go particularly well. No. Like, we got to be a little bit smarter with that. Colin Murray-Boyles, though, just for you guys to know, like, he needs to look ahead and be like, hey, like, Mamu is running here. I should slow up a little bit more so that we can have a little bit more space. Maybe hold off Watford a little bit more. Let Mamu kind of run in this place. It's too clustered otherwise. So that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Here we go. What are we doing? We got Q Grimes in front of us. That's a good rip. That's a good rip. Oh, I just can't finish. Like, I like this rip, though. Let's evaluate this. So he's on the catch right here. Let's take a look. He goes, he jabs. See, this is a good rip. We talked about it in the video yesterday, actually. So again, go watch the NBA Rookie Report here. We talked about why sometimes players, they hurt their Achilles or they just have wasted movement because a lot of times this foot will go back before it goes forward. Notice how he actually just rips through and goes right here. Like, you don't even have to be a quick player. I'm not a very quick player, and I have a pretty quick first step just because I know how to be efficient with my movements. And plays like this can happen. So you get to the rim, not an elite shot blocker anywhere here. Would it be nice if you dumped it off to CMB there for a dunk? Sure, why not? But it's a very makeable shot. Goes up, just kind of loses focus, unfortunately, and not able to make it. And this is a trend for Gradey Dick, not being able to get it in the hole. I can't help myself. Ooh, that one, that was, I'm not sure you were open, my boy. I'm not sure you were open for this shot, but I appreciate it. Like, you're a shooter. I want you shooting, right? I don't want you to, like, think about it all that much. Here we go. Great closeout by VJ here. Just not quite falling on that one. Not quite falling. We continue. Okay, that's all for this one. Let's take a look at defense again, man. We're going offense, defense. We've got one play to take a look at here. One play from this game where someone took a shot against him. Let's see. VJ Edgecombe. What do we got here? We're attacking. Oh, no. Should we watch it again? I think we should watch it again. All right, we're playing defense. What kind of happens here? So, you've been beat. This feels like one of those, Jesus, you've been beat. This feels like one of those, like, commercials, like, so you're dealing with, like, explosive diarrhea here. You should tell your doctor or you should ask your doctor about, like, X thing. It's like, okay, so you've been beat on defense. Here's what you need to do now. Stop shuffling your feet. You need to turn and run. And he just kind of continues to get beaten. Look, VJ Edgecombe is really fast, really athletic. Like, this is a 10.5 out of 10 athlete in the NBA. So the odds of you catching up to him, not that great anyway, but holy shit. Yeah, that's going to happen sometimes. Okay, we don't need to watch that anymore. That was his only real, like, defensive clip there. Anyway, last game that we're going to take a look at here for Gradey Dick before we get into his actual, like, report card and everything. Mind you, this is still a year 1 to year 2 grade. We'll take a look at a 2 to 3 right here. Because that one's also, like, that's a big jump. We often say, and this is just a good kind of reminder for whenever we're taking a look at young players around the NBA, don't judge rookies too hard. Like, just don't. By the end of the second season, that's when we want to start to see, like, some of the rookie and, like, young player mistakes start to go away. And then we hope to see a little bit more polish in the third season. Like, that's when you can start being a little bit harsher on people and just, like, taking a look at certain things here, right? Like, let's take a look at, like, I know we're watching film right now, but I'm going back to the stats. Let's take a look at, like, the 3-point shot from last year. it doesn't really change all that much, right? Like there's not a lot of alteration here overall. We take a look at the defensive numbers, like it almost peters out towards the end of the season. So we didn't really see maybe that jump or that consistency start to build like we'd like to. But anyway, last game here, they got a dub against the Brooklyn Nets. This was just last night at the time of recording this. It is the 12th. So it's the Nets. They're not very good, right? I think we all understand that. Got almost 20 minutes in this one. 3 for 7, 0 for 4 from 3 in this one. We actually had 2 assists. We're not going to watch them because, again, it's not really relevant to anything. But fine game, I guess is how I'd put it. Here's the shot chart overall. We did make some layups in this one, so I guess we'll see what Gradey Dick is kind of doing here. But again, this is probably the worst team in the NBA right now, right? Like, at least talent-wise. So, shout out the couple people out there really trying, and like Nick Claxton, MPJ, like Noah Clowney's been solid or whatever. I always like Tyrese Martin, I don't know. But yeah, this should be a relatively easy, like, kind of get yourself right game right here. Shout out Drake Powell. He's playing 5-star defense correctly. Here we go. We close out, and you get a switch right there. I want to see this one because we haven't seen a lot of these kind of handoff shots for him so far. So here we go. Great pass by Scotty, by the way, just kind of bouncing it right in to him. Okay, he lands. He goes pretty straight up and down with this one. This is pretty good. Like, that shot isn't bad necessarily at all, but it went to the right. So what kind of happened here? We're squaring up. He might have just not squared himself to the rim completely, honestly. A lot of the mechanics are pretty good. Yeah, I just don't think he got all the way around. Interesting. Here we go. Here we go. We're spacing back out. Decent cut. He was not prepared for that basketball. Look what I found. Hey, easy layup. Cool, cool, cool. That was kind of a tough pass. Here we go. Claxton. Whoa. What happened here, Brooklyn? What happened here? All right, so we're setting the screen. He's trying to break the play. Scotty Barnes is having a defensive season, man. Great read. Gets hand on basketball. Pass it out. Jameson Bell. Can I get a dunk for Mr. Dick? Hey, there we go. There we go. Love to see it. We got a dunk in today. Here we go. Brandon Ingram. He's attacking. We got to take that up, B.I. We got to take it. It's Zaire Williams. We're good. We're good. Take that shit up. We're going to take that shit up. Here we go. Got a pretty good shot right here. I can't see it all that well, what he's doing. I'm going to guess the feet are pointing toward they're pointing towards the basket again, and because of that, so like here's the reason why you want your feet at the 45-degree angle right here. The way you can naturally have your arm kind of stay straight while you're shooting is by angling your feet a little bit so they can follow kind of a straight, I guess, like skeletal path up your body. And so that's why you want it to follow that hip, shoulder, kind of like right eye, if you would. But when your feet are forward, it's harder to do that. So that's why we do it that way, and that's why that one is off to the side. That's a bad miss. That's a bad miss. We don't like it. We don't like it. All right, here we go. Coming off a screen. This is one thing that we're noticing, right? We're not seeing a lot of actions run for him, and also you'd probably ask, well, why would you, right? Like, he's not hitting the open ones necessarily even. He's being average, right? But this is a question to ask, right? Like, maybe should they be running some more plays for him? Is he better off the move? Those are just questions that I would have if I run the coaching staff. All right, here we go. Oops, I clicked out of it. Here we go. We're going up and off to the side again. Off to the side again. So another not so great miss in this one. Feet maybe are too close together in this one. Not completely a stable base going up. No. Here we go. Here we go. What are we doing? We don't look like we know what we're doing all that well. It's an interesting cut. Hey, goes up and finishes that one. There's nobody really at the rim to deter you from this group. So I guess that's a good thing. Good cut there. Great. Cool. All right, we move on. Gradey Dick slipping through. CMB, good stuff. I'd love to see Quickly. I get Quickly's able to beat some people, right? He's quick. It is what it is. But Colin Murray Boyles does kind of have, at least in theory, a skill set to be that secondary playmaker to play. Because what happened right here, right? He got iced. So he got iced right here. So what you need to do now is, what you should do is stop, kind of pocket pass to this guy here, and now you've got 4-on-3. That's kind of the ideal basketball way to go and play this. It'd be cool if he got hit there, but is what it is. Great skip pass. How do the feet look? We're here. This is a little bit better. It's still not great. Jumping together. There's like a little bit of a flare in his feet too at the end of the shot. Always watch. Like they kind of like come back out too. I don't know. It's a little bit strange. So they're not great misses, man. They're not great misses. And that's tough. Okay. That's the offense for this one. Let's see the defense in this one, because there's a couple clips. Got a few more minutes in this one. This is not a great team, so let's see what's going on. He's guarding Drake Powell out there. Clowney's here. He's got to come over and help. Not much you can do about that one. I don't blame you for that one at all. Don't blame you for that one. Oh, when do we get like a Haywood Highsmith debut for the Brooklyn Nets? I just saw him on the bench. I'm like, oh yeah, they got Haywood Highsmith on the team. I'd like to get him back out on the court. Here we go. Here we go. It's kind of a nothing play. I don't really care. We move on. All right. Gradey Dick picking up Jalen Wilson full court. All right. Interesting. I don't know why we're chasing right now, but fair enough. Is it because they don't really have a ball handler or anything? How does this team not have a point guard that they can go to? They drafted 18 of them. Where are they? I know Cam is hurt and everything, but whatever. All right, that's just kind of a nothing one again. These aren't really great examples of like defensive situations right here. So in this one, you got to see both. He's in a pretty good position right here to see both. That's awesome. Good stuff. Michael Porter Jr.'s here, and you weren't able to recover quite quick enough, and that's going to happen. And honestly, right here, Jamison Battle, that's not your help. That's not your help, especially your guys all the way out here. You got to be able to X out right here. So that's not on Gradey Dick. That's on Battle. That one is on Battle. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Zaire Williams, you don't know where he's going. All right, whatever. I'm glad you didn't just completely jump and lunge at him. That's good. Here we go. What do we got now? Terrence Mann, he's trying to create something. Ooh, he wanted to jump at him, though. He wanted to jump at him this time. Look. Ooh, and then he went back down. It's just, you're just not contesting really anything. Why is he so bad at closeouts? Oh, my God. That's so interesting. I've never paid attention to that closely. Here we go. Ben Serif. Okay, trying to make a play. Whatever. All right, kind of just a nothing one. Kind of a nothing one. All right, y'all. That's the film. Let's move on to the actual report card. Alrighty, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put in the year 2 versus year 3 numbers right here. We're going to see a bunch of numbers populate. Here we go. Alrighty. So this is Gradey Dick from year 2 to year 3. If we wanted a year like 1 to now look, this is what it would look like. You'll see it's not really changing all that much besides a couple things down here, but we're taking a look at the year 2 to year 3, right? Because if you look at the year 1 to year 2, we stayed pretty consistent, right? We grew in more areas than we declined in, so we want to do a comparison of 2 to 3. Are we growing? Are we progressing? Now, again, if you have questions on kind of how this progress report works, I've got a whole white paper that you can read here. I tried to make it pretty simple, pretty intuitive to understand, but let's kind of break down some of the basics here. So first thing you need to know is there are 6 categories that we are grading you on. We've got scoring, playmaking, defense, post skills, hoops IQ, and the last one, potential. The first 5 right here are completely analytical, right? These are unbiased numbers right here. And that's how you get these 1 to 5 grades overall. The potential grade, that one is subjective. Why is that one subjective, AVC? Well, I listed here in the white paper, I say analytics only tell half the story. The other half comes from actually watching the game, understanding player growth, and trusting what your eyes and experience tells you. That's what this category is for. Look, I'm a professional with this, right? So I'm giving you my evaluation, and this 1 to 5 scale right here tells you how I'm grading this player. So when Gradey Dick first entered the NBA, I would have given him a 3 on this, meaning feels like a long-term role player who's going to stick around the league right here. Cool stuff, right? You'll notice year 3, I'm at a 2.75 right now. Now, what does that mean? I'm still leaning towards this is the case, but I maybe don't have quite as much confidence in it before. So this is actually the first time in this series where I'm saying I don't maybe have quite as much belief in the potential that I did before, right? So maybe he's starting to lean, he's starting to slide more towards a 2, which is might get a second chance somewhere else. Outlook is a little bit shaky right now. Again, I'd still put him more towards a 3, but this is where we're at right now because we have a not elite 3-point shooter that's playing no defense right now. So that's kind of the question that I have right now. And so all of these grades are made up of a bunch of smaller grades that you'll see here. And these are kind of all the analytical factors that go into this. So all the scoring grade right here is made up of these grades down here. And so we can kind of see where he's growing, where he's declining overall. So overall, we do actually have progress right here. There wasn't a ton of growth between year 1 and year 2, but we do have some progress going from a D+ to a C- overall. Some of the scoring, we're actually seeing a bit of an increase in that, and it's not much, and it's solely because of the rim stuff right now. And again, let me be clear. this is very early in the season. We have extremely small sample size of numbers right here, and so the change isn't anything like all that drastic, but still, it's worth pointing out, right? Overall, we're remaining pretty consistent. We are trending a little bit upwards scoring wise, which, like, fair enough, right? Playmaking, the reason that one is probably growing, if we're taking a look at it, because, like, the creation, yeah, he's not doing much to create for himself. That's actually going down, but the turnovers are exceptionally down right now. The pressure proxy is actually related to, if I remember correctly, that's like his free throw rate, is it not? Let's take a look at the white paper to make sure that I'm remembering this correctly. Let's take a look. The pressure, yeah, that's related to his free throw rate right there. So he's actually, like, generating kind of like some looks for free throws because of that, which is kind of interesting, right? So maybe attacking the rim a little bit more with that. Cool stuff. We're staying pretty consistent with defense, which isn't exactly what you want to see. The activity score is down. Like the EPM, you shouldn't even really use EPM this early in the season, so that's technically up right now. But yeah, if you went on like dunks and threes right now, they won't even like they won't display it. You can do the calculations still, but they're like, it's not worth it right now. So take that in as an account. Otherwise, like, not a lot of change. We get to the hoops IQ, we see a little bit of growth overall. Like, the context score is going down. And again, if you want to go down to the context score right here, that's related to the estimated wins or whatever. And so that stat, it's early on, right? It's not a great one to take a look at at this point of the season, but awareness, impact going up a little bit, decision about the same. So overall, like, there is a little bit of growth to start this year, but overall it's pretty consistent and it's still not great overall. This is still a C-. Overall, we need to see some growth in Gradey Dick. It looked like there's some pretty easy, like, defensive things that maybe we could get better at, just kind of learning the fundamentals a little bit more, because he does have some length and some athleticism to him. So you'd like to think that you can kind of build that out of him. The shot really needs to fall, right? That's the main reason you took him. You need him to be able to be a floor spacer out there, because he's not creating for anybody either. And this team just needs shooters, right? So when we watched the film, we saw there were some little things that we could probably do to improve a lot of that stuff. So I really think it's just getting the reps in and getting a little bit better. But yeah, if you guys are curious, and again, you want to take a look at some other players or whatever, feel free to go download this spreadsheet off my Discord or whatever and plug the numbers in. I make it pretty simple in the background to do it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. That's the progress report on Gradey Dick. Let me know your thoughts down below, and more importantly, let me know who we should cover next. I've had a lot of requests so far for this, and I think there's a lot of great ideas. Suggest guys that are struggling, maybe guys that you think aren't, like, necessarily getting better, they're a little bit stagnant, or guys that are making a big jump. They're all fun, and I'm kind of trying to take a look at all of those guys. But anyway, I appreciate you guys very much. Let's move on to the comment of the video. Alrighty, y'all, comment of the video is coming from our redrafting the 2021 NBA rookie class video, and it was actually the most upvoted comment, it looks like here. Comes from ArkHera4375 that said, as someone who started loving basketball / the NBA later in life and have grown up with soccer, I call it football just because I have a lot of international clients, with soccer and analytics in the soccer context, I absolutely love this channel. Thank you very much. Never played basketball, but I love the story analytics can tell. I'm totally with you there. Like, it can really help you give context to kind of what you're seeing on the court. He says, complementing the eye test and intuition and player profiling and scouting. Thank you, by the way, for saying that. That's one of the goals that I really try to do with this channel, is give people a way to kind of understand what they're seeing in basketball if they're not all that familiar with it. Right now, I try to make it simple. Like, a lot of my job is translating maybe complex basketball ideas into simpler terms, and I really try to simplify it here on the channel, so I'm glad you like it. So thank you very much for saying that. I'm glad you enjoyed, and I'd love to hear about soccer analytics at some point. I'm sure that's pretty cool. My only, like, football soccer experience is watching Ted Lasso, which, oh my god, I love that show. Give me some TV recommendations down below as well, y'all. I'd love to hear that right now. Your boy's out of shows to watch, and, like, am I gonna watch Stranger Things? Sure, I'm gonna, but at this point, like, those kids just gotta die, right? Like, they just gotta die. But anyway, if you guys want access to the progress report or whatever, if you want to have other great basketball conversations like the ones down in the comments here, go join the Discord. Link is in the description down below. Again, this is on the announcements channel. You can just go download it there for free. But as always, thank you guys very much. Go watch the rookie report. Go watch Last Week in the Film Room. Give me some feedback on these series. Are these good? Do you like them? How could they be better? Go watch the other progress report videos. They're a lot like this one, and they're a lot of fun. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you're having a great rest of your week, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks so much. Bye.